Hey guys, NW Order for Life here with Kill la Kill OVA review. Now the OVA came bundled with, I believe, the Blu-ray or DVD in Japan, so that's why it took so long for the last final episode to come out. But to get right into it, because it's a very long episode review, basically, Honouji Academy is dismissed. Satsuki's closing it down. Everyone's going to have a graduation where they pay their final respects and then leave the school. And then Sanayama wants to fight Satsuki before that, just to settle the score between them. He notices that like she doesn't have the will to fight, so he gives up because he would feel ashamed hurting her or taking advantage or going all out when she doesn't have the will to fight. Um, Ryuko is calling Satsuki by her name, Satsuki. Like they're close to each other, kind of. So that's a good indication right there of how they have progressed since defeating Ragyou. Um, Nikisuke, the teacher, the Nudist Beach guy that was a teacher in the whole series, he comes back and says he was invited for the graduation ceremony. Everything is pretty good. Satsuki's ready to lay down her sword for good and become a different person now. And then all of a sudden we see an imposter Satsuki appear behind the real Satsuki. And then before we know it, the real Satsuki is pretty much like captured, and the imposter Satsuki and an imposter Elite Four plus the tailor guy that made all the costumes for the Elite Four. These imposters are now at the graduation ceremony saying, this is bull crap. Nobody's going to graduate from anything. You take things by force. The same type of act that Satsuki and the Elite Four put on last time. Because if you remember, Satsuki was pretending to be cruel and malicious and doing all the things that she had to do in order to make her mother believe that she was loyal to her. So, and using, and it was also a belief in herself that, like this method will produce results, which the current Satsuki is saying, that was wrong and, I'm going to atone for that or whatever. But, so these imposters are back to that old attitude and that old ruthless arrogance attitude. And Ryuko, first of all, Nudist Beach comes in the form of Sumugo, and the guy that says, "Let me tell you three things." He with the mohawk, he throws Ryuko a knife, which they call the tailor's dagger. It's like a dagger with like three blades, like separates into three blades, and also like this glove. And Ryuko fights, and she goes right after the fake Satsuki. And then what's his name? Mikisuke, the teacher, he takes off his teacher disguise and he goes back to his young self, whatever, and he shows the real Elite Four that he has custom-made DTRs for them to use. The DTRs being the robots, the funny robots, and so they take off their clothes. They don't want to, but they take off their clothes. They jump in the DTRs and they fight their counterparts, and Ryuko fighting the fake Satsuki. The fake Satsuki and the fake Elite Four, they're turning black their skin, like as they're using the life fiber abilities, their skin is getting darker, and the fakes, including Satsuki, they all have the old like they have the fake versions of like Satsuki has the fake Kamui Junketsu, and the fake Elite Four, they have their old fake 3-star uniforms, however stars there were, and everybody's fighting, and all of a sudden Satsuki's hanging there, bound by life fibers, and we see that Satsuki knows that Houmaru Rei is behind it, and she tells her to step out of the shadows, and Rei basically says that the world isn't worth living without Ragyou, and she's going to make her pay. She makes Satsuki pay for letting her live. Why did Satsuki let Rei live? Doesn't make sense. And Satsuki is just very passive. She says that you know, she didn't feel like there was any reason to kill Rei. If Rei could, learn to live in the world and live like a normal person, and if Rei feels like it, then she can take Satsuki's life, if that will atone. And Rei's like, no, it won't atone. Nothing can, replace Ragyou's life, Ragyou's existence, and she's going to show everybody, that the world's not saved. That she's going to make them pay for killing Ragyou and Nui. And so then we see a flashback to 20 years ago, where Houmaru Rei was this little kid in this African nation, and there's a war going on, and one of the soldiers of the enemy nations or whatever is about to shoot her right in the head, and Ragyou kills that soldier by chopping off his head, and she kills a bunch of soldiers, and she says there's no way she's going to allow precious material for her life fiber study to be killed, because the people of that village have high resistance to life fibers. So Ragyou kills them all. She throws a little pin inside Rei's head, and the pin shows that she has strong resistance to life fibers, a strong reaction to it. Ragyou says she was chosen. She puts out her hand to the little poor girl, and she says, come with me. From now on, your name is going to be Houmaru Rei, and I'm going to take you out of this, out of this world and whatever, take you under my wing. And she gives Rei the glasses that Rei wears is what Ragyou was wearing, those sunglasses, and she puts them on Rei's face. So from there we see that Rei's devotion, where it began, to Ragyou. And so Rei has Mako. Well, first Rei activates the final defense mechanism, which was a machine that was, or not a machine, a life fiber defense mechanism that was created to fight the original life fiber that Ragyou possessed. Unfortunately, they couldn't use it because Ragyou was in control of Honouji Academy, so it never worked out. But now Rei has control of it, and she's going to use it to destroy everybody. Satsuki says she'll just bite her tongue, and that'll be it. Then the life fiber won't work because, Rei is using Satsuki as a power source for the defense mechanism. And she says, even if you bite your tongue, Satsuki, I've got this girl here, and it's Mako. Mako was captured hilariously by baiting her with cheese. Mako was captured, and Mako is also being used to power the machine or the device. And Rei says that Mako has a surprisingly high activation rate with the life fibers. So that's interesting to know. And then, let's see, the Elite Four take off their DTRs. They take the weapons from them, and they opt to fight hand-to-hand. And, the guy that controls the computers and everything, he controls the DTRs with his, with his whatever hacking ability, and he sends the DTRs remotely after, to help fight the fake Elite Four, and they all defeat their counterparts. The computer guy's defeat of his counterpart was especially cool because he just literally pressed a power off switch on the back of the guy's neck and just killed him like that. So more craziness with that stuff. And Mako, the defense mechanism is about to hurt everybody, kill everybody. Mako does the hallelujah with the defense mechanism and stops it in its tracks. So showing again, Mako is really strong with life fibers. She's able to overpower Rei for a little bit. And the Ryuko ends up falling into a pit created by the final defense mechanism when it tried to attack her. And as she's falling, she's thinking of Senketsu and saying, if she lets any more blood spill, Senketsu would never forgive her. So Senketsu kind of talks to her through, I guess, through her heart or through herself, through the life fibers in her body. Senketsu talks to her, and it looks like Senketsu sends her the scissors from outer space that were lost in outer space. They come flying down. Ryuko grabs them in the pit. She runs up the pit with her legs, and she starts fighting the defense mechanism. Previously, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but Ryuko was fighting the fake Satsuki. showing that Ryuko, having the life fibers inside her, is strong enough to fight, without Senketsu anymore. She's just that strong. With just the regular life fibers inside of her, part of her own being, it gives her strength and speed and everything like that. So she's going after the final defense mechanism, and Rei pulls out with the final defense mechanism. The final defense mechanism is like this big robot with all these hands and this really weird kind of monster face or whatever it is. And it grabs the naked beach, the Nudist Beach's ship from the previous episodes, the naked dagger, and it uses the naked dagger like a knife, and Ryuko transforms her scissors into one becomes final address mode and one becomes final decommission mode, and then they just become these giant scissors that surround. Well, they cut through the naked knife, the knife or whatever of Nudist Beach's ship, great naked knife, and then the scissors surround the defense mechanism machine thing, and they're just gigantic, completely surrounding it on all sides. And she calls it Seni Soshi Graduation Final, and a gigantic version of Ryuko appears in the sky. I don't know if this is like, it's as if Ryuko is controlling it, so it's like symbolic, or if it's like, for a brief second she was in the sky using the scissors before going back down to being normal. I'm not sure. That's a good topic of discussion. But a giant Ryuko with the scissors in like a hazy kind of form, not really a solid giant Ryuko, just like a spiritual hazyish kind of form, controls the scissors, cuts up the defense mechanism, and basically calls it the final graduation ceremony, Seni Soshitsu, and the life fibers from that device get absorbed into Ryuko's red hair, which is really interesting because Senketsu used to do it, and now Ryuko can apparently absorb life fibers by herself. Maybe that's a trait that she inherited from Senketsu by being a part of Senketsu. That could be what that is. And so Rei is, unbelievably upset, and she tries to kill Satsuki. Satsuki dodges, and half her hair gets cut off, and half is short, half is long. And Satsuki says, I can't imagine the hell you've been through, but, come follow me. I need you to make this world a better place. Put the past behind you. And that's what Ryuko was saying, too, when she was charging the final graduation ceremony. She was saying, Houmaru Rei, it's time for you to graduate, forget about the past and, embrace the new world or whatever. So both sisters trying to get Rei to jump ship to their line of thinking, and Rei eventually does get impressed by Satsuki. Satsuki has the light behind her, and stands up and holds out her hand, and Rei's glasses break, signifying that Ragyou's hold on her, or the memory of Ragyou is finally put to rest, and Rei is now moving on with her life. So we see Rei without her glasses now, at the end, when everybody is getting into boats to leave Honouji Academy because Honouji Academy is sinking. Before that, though, Ryuko appears there and congratulates her sister, and she calls her Nei-san, which again shows their close relationship now. Back on the boats now, everybody on the island is packing and going on boats to leave the island before it sinks. They salute Honouji Academy. Satsuki cuts off the remaining other side of her hair, making all sides short, and the whole thing short, and she orders everybody to salute the academy as the boats are taking off. And Satsuki is in the boat with Rei and one other person. I think it's her butler, but yeah, she's in the boat with them, and she's ordering everybody to do the salute. And Satsuki is saying that she can see her sister anytime she wants. So again, showing their sister relationship and how she wants to see her. And that's it. Everybody goes their separate ways. In the end credits, we see that the scissors, Ryuko's scissors, are sinking into the ocean, and Mako and Ryuko are talking about how Senketsu is always going to be with Ryuko, and happy ending. So it was a really great OVA. It tied up a lot of stuff. I'm not really sure as to you know, Rei being like this normal human that had high resistance to life fibers, because like I don't know, how is she just a normal human and yet she can make her arms become like life fibers, as we've seen in previous episodes, and she could, you know, apparently manipulate the students, you know, tying life fibers around their brains and create life fiber entities herself. So that's a lot of power for just someone that has, you know, affinity to them or resistance to them. So I'm not sure if maybe they should have went into more detail. If maybe she getting experimented on or something. You know, I don't know, but could have done a little bit more with Rei in that regard. And I'm not really sure. I like the fact that she got won over to Satsuki's way. But you know, still a great episode. Really enjoyed it. Nudist Beach, hilarious. Ryuko still badass, strong even without Senketsu. The scissor transformation was epic, and just an overall great way to end the series. So that's how this has been my review of Kill la Kill OVA. I believe it's episode 25, but it's the final episode in the Kill la Kill anime. It came as an extra to either the Blu-ray or DVD package in Japan. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Be sure to let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments down below. Anything I might have missed, if you want to touch on it. Also, I've got to say that Satsuki cutting her hair at the end of this episode shows that the previous end credits that showed Ryuko, Satsuki, and Mako going on a date and stuff in the previous episode, that obviously takes place in the future of this episode, because in this episode Satsuki cuts her hair and everything. So yeah, great stuff. Love Kill la Kill. Amazing series. Great way to end the series. I'm gonna give this episode 10 out of 10 because it was just awesome all around. Great stuff. Again, thank you for watching. Comment below, rate the video, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Have a nice day.